Well, Bayern Munich is currently on a 15-game win streak across all competitions to start off the season, which has surpassed AC Milan's 14-game win streak from the 92-93 season, and it beat the longest Bundesliga win streak, which was 11 wins that was set by Borussia Dortmund back in 2015-2016. And Bayern's manager, Vincent Kompany, spoke on their current win streak and said, "We've won 15 matches. That's good, but we have to keep going. It's not enough yet. This match has to be rock and roll. They have confidence. We have confidence. This is the best that Europe has to offer." So, Geoff, speaking about Vincent Kompany in particular, I'm curious to know how the perception of Vincent Kompany has really changed in the past year. I mean, are you at a point where if you're making a list of the top 5 managers, would you put him in that list?
Depends what that list is. Is it a list of managers right now? Then you have to, because they are arguably the best side in Europe right now with their numbers, which are, frankly, utterly ridiculous. But in terms of the best 5 managers of all time or of the last 10 years, no, he hasn't won anything yet.
We're going to speak currently then.
OK, so currently... Without
a doubt, yes.
Currently, they can't do any better. You know, they've only conceded 4 goals as well. It's staggering as to how good they are. I thought it was an interesting quote from him as well. This match has to be rock and roll.
I love that.
And Vinny as a person, as an interviewee, he's quite humorous, and he has got that about him. And I love the fact he wants to embrace this challenge. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how strong the Bundesliga is and how good they are. This will be a good test for them tonight.
Isn't it staggering, the dichotomy between the situation which he was at Burnley versus what he is now? He was struggling to stay afloat in the Premier League and got relegated. And now he's managing one of the squads with the most quality in the world, and he's blowing the competition away.
And would you say as well, Nico, that here he has shown tactical flexibility, and he's played young players as well. And one of the biggest criticisms of his taking Burnley down was his tactical inflexibility. They only had one way of playing, and he didn't have the players to do it.
I agree. So here you do have the players to be tactically flexible and try things out and innovate. The other day he played fullbacks inverted. He played Rafa Guerreiro as the right back and Conrad Leimer as the left back. So a righty on the left and a lefty on the right. You know, you can go ahead and try these things at Bayern. And it's not only that, it's managing a dressing room where perhaps the codes are more what he was used to at Manchester City. Top quality, big egos. Maybe he feels more comfortable in this setting than he did at Burnley.
He's a Pep disciple, isn't he? There's quite a few out there. He's 100% a Pep disciple. Maybe he was just... I mean, he got Burnley promoted. Maybe he was just the wrong choice for Burnley in the Premier League. So he can clearly coach players at any level, but the players he had weren't good enough to play his way of playing in Burnley. But does that mean he should have played differently? Yeah, I mean...
You look at a manager and you say, this is a style I want to play. I'm not going to concede what I built in the championship as I come to the Premier League just to say I want to survive and just defend
and become kind of Sean Dyche.
He said, I'm not doing that. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm going to feel better about myself trying to play a certain style. And essentially he lost the locker room and he lost his job. But he was given an opportunity at Bayern Munich because they saw something in him. And, of course, a call from Pep Guardiola saying,
after going through 5 candidates, by the way.
Right.
He wasn't first choice.
No. He wasn't. And he ends up getting the job. And look at what he's done. And you can sit there and look in the mirror and go, I told you all. I have the quality.
Give me the players as well, Charlie.
And see what happens.
And the amount of Bayern Munich fans, when he was appointed, they weren't underwhelmed. They were whelmed. That's how bad it was. He did not light their fire.
He won them over quick.
Wow. What a job he's done.
I don't know. There were a couple of moments halfway through last season where they struggled against Celtic. Defensively, they were unorganized, especially for a manager who's a center back, right? I expected them to be a little bit better. And
but
ultimately,
they won the Bundesliga.
For sure. He took them back to where they should be. That's the bare minimum.
Right.
And then against Inter, a team that got spanked 5-0 in the final, sure, they went past Barcelona. I don't want to take flowers away from Inter. Don't want to be that nasty. But I think for Bayern's standards, they fell short in the Champions League. And they ultimately didn't play that convincingly in the Champions League throughout.
Yeah, but could he have done any more than he did?
Last season? Yeah. Maybe get to a semi-final of the Champions League, not lose to Inter on set-piece plays.
Yeah, but again, we're looking at Bayern Munich today. Without Musiala, without Davies, he's figured out a way to bring in Luis Diaz, which has been a game changer for them.
Yep.
And Harry Kane playing at the level he's playing at, to be able to say, hey, you can drop in the midfield. I'm giving you a complete freedom to do as you choose. And he's making everyone around him better. When I look at Bayern Munich, for me, the weakness was at midfield. But there's been a resurgence from one player in particular, and I know we'll get to that in a bit. But for me, Joshua Kimmich has been a sensation this season because he's played the most minutes. That's not the name that comes to mind when you're talking about this current Bayern Munich squad, especially Harry Kane doing what he's done. But Kimmich has been the glue in the midfield. And we've seen him used as a makeshift right back, which he didn't want to play. In the midfield, he doesn't have the legs, but when he can control the tempo, and his passing efficiency is almost second to none. Making the right decisions, finding outlets, creating opportunities. He's been fantastic.
He's so good. I think we're going to remember him as one of the best midfielders that we saw in our generation. The leader, from a leadership perspective, from a metronome perspective, he gives Bayern. And by the way, it's like not like we're discovering this now. He's been like this forever. If he was Spanish, our jaws would be on the floor. Is that not true? Because we think of the Spanish midfielder, the Iniestas, the Xavis, the Pedris, that blow us away.
No, but he did that when he was under Guardiola. When Guardiola moved him from that right back spot centrally, and people questioned it. And Guardiola said, wait, you'll see. And then he was incredible.
Guardiola saw it.
Yeah.
Now, Nico, if there is one team that is able to stop this Bayern Munich team that we're speaking so highly of, you could argue that it could be PSG.
Yeah.
Can you make an argument for why PSG could win this game?
Yeah, because I think they're starting to get their guys back, especially in midfield. I don't think we've seen Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz play that often together this season. Neves has been out for a long period of time. Fabian Ruiz is slowly coming back. So that engine room was the one that allowed PSG to dictate, to play that high tempo, press on the counter, on a lost ball, be on the edge of your seat. That edge of your seat football, for a large part, it was because of that midfield trio. So I wonder who's going to keep the ball. How much is Bayern going to be chasing? They don't often chase. They're actually pretty good without the ball, but I'm curious to see who takes the ball away from Bayern first.
But I think that's what's great about Bayern Munich. They're comfortable whether they press or whether they sit back and they concede possession, because you're talking about counterattacks with Luis Diaz and Harry Kane. You can say, hey, we're good. Michael Olise has been phenomenal as well. So Bayern are flexible, and if there's ever a challenger for this PSG side, I'm looking at Bayern Munich and saying, hey, they can do that.
What do you think Vincent Kompany will look to do tonight? Will he look to play on the counter, or will he look to go for possession?
I think it's not one or the other. I think there's going to be moments in the game where they have possession, and PSG are maybe sitting in a mid-block, or they're sitting a little bit lower because PSG can move it quickly. And when they're coming at you with Olise and Diaz and Kane is kind of playing off the shoulders, it's really tough to be on the front foot.
I just imagine a sequence where PSG is suffocating Bayern at some points of the game, and then it's unsuccessful. Quick outlet to Harry Kane, back turn to goal, on a turn, boom, into space, wide open space for Luis Diaz streaking on the wing, and then it's like, hold your horses. Well, like this is going to be very difficult for PSG.
Another unsung hero in this squad, where as we look at the 11s, is Konrad Laimer. He has been really good this season as an outside back. The timing of his runs, he's a tough tackler. Normally, he's always been played as a central midfielder, but now as an outside back, he's come to life under Kompany, and I think given some good guidelines, we've seen him really have an impact in the way that Munich play.
I would say under Kompany, if you want to do stock up, because Kompany's not the first person to turn him into a right back. He's been playing right back for Bayern for a long time. But the way that he bombs forward, and under Kompany's only improved. It's incredible to see, because there's another guy that's got no marketing. If he was English, forget about it, you know?
So, Geoff, which way are you leaning in this one? Who do you think gets the win in this one?
I'm leaning firmly on the fence. But if I had to go one way, I'm going Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich?
I just think they come into this game with so much confidence, so much swagger. But I think it's a really difficult game to call.
Do you think they give up a goal or two in this one, though?
No.
No?
Wow.
Ooh, clean sheet. Nico?
The win streak ends today with a draw.
He doesn't know where to go now.
You said leaning up against us. He's sitting
Right on it. Draw. What do you think, Charlie?
I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go PSG wins today.
Ooh, I got a little bit of
How much
everything.
did we talk about Barca
1-0,
beating
1-0.
a PSG team that was half there? And then PSG showed up and won in the Camp Nou.
I'm going to say 1-0.